everybody, and welcome to the Comcast High School Game of the Week. I'm Phil Stevenson along with my partner Steve Pierce. Tonight, it's a big Lauderdale County 4A Region 8 matchup between the undefeated, 5th ranked in the state of Alabama, Brooks Lions, here at Wilson to take on the Warriors at homecoming. This is a big football game.
Well, Phil, you're absolutely right. It is a big game. It is a must game, in my opinion, for Wilson. If they want to stay in the playoff picture, they really going to have to win tonight. If not, we talked about earlier, they're going to have to depend on somebody else to help them out during the rest of the season. Brooks, of course, being undefeated in the region, they could lose the game and possibly, I'm sure, probably still be in the playoffs. But this is, as we mentioned, this could be Wilson's playoff game. They need to come out and win this game to keep in the hunt, the running for the playoff spot in this class.
The game that Wilson's going to look back at, they come into this game 4-2, 2-2 in region play. The game they're going to look back at will be the Winfield game, where they went down, did not play up to their potential, got beat 14-6, and that was a game that they probably should have won. But that's past. They can't change that, so their life is on the line tonight.
You're right. Winfield, of course, they played that game, and I'm not sure, but they had 7 or 8 turnovers during that game. We were talking to the coaches before the Central game. They cannot do that tonight. They're going to have to play an error-free game, very few penalties to stay in the game with Brooks.
And Brooks is ready. They're 5th ranked in the state in 4A. They have 3 really offensive stars. We've all heard about Division I prospect Freddie Roach, but quarterback Zach Woodford actually is one of the area's leading rushers and leads this Brooks team in rushing after 6 games.
Well, from watching Zach, I've known Zach for many years, even when he was a small child. He is a very intelligent quarterback, and he seems to make the right plays. He's got a lot of savvy, just runs that offense, knows when to make the pitch, knows when to hang on the ball. And he hangs on to it a lot. With being their leading rusher, he is a great offensive weapon that they do have.
It's pick your poison. Freddie Roach from the fullback position, Zach Woodford, the quarterback, and a lot of times out of the Brooks double wing, they're going to be pitching the ball to Will Roach, the younger brother of Freddie, who is a sophomore, not quite as big, but has tremendous speed.
Well, you're looking at Freddie Roach. He's 6'3", weighs 236 pounds. For anybody else but Brooks, he'd be playing tackle. I mean, he's got all the tools. All the college coaches just drool over him. I'm sure there'll be some here tonight watching him, looking at recruiting him and his younger brother. I think right now Freddie's taking a lot of the limelight this year, but these coaches love him too, but he's got a couple more years left to play, and they'll have to wait a little bit for him.
Well, let's get into the probable starting lineups tonight. First for the visiting Brooks Lions.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do the Brooks offense, and this is probable. Brooks runs a double wing offense, and what they'll do is they'll have really Jason Hewitt, number 64, is a tackle, but he'll be playing tight end. It's a blocking tight end for them. Jason is 6'2", 204 as a junior. One of the tackles, 53, Nick Rook. He's 6'2", 226 and a senior. Stephen Louis is one of the guards, number 54. He's 5'8", 171. The center is number 58, Cody Finn. He's 6'1", 238 and a senior. The other guard is Daniel Louis. He is number 67. He's 5'9", 170 and a sophomore. The other tackle is number 69, Judd Fry. He's 6 feet, 187 and a senior. The wideout is number 23, Rob Patterson. He's 5'11", 145 and a junior. Of course, we talked about number 17, Zach Woodford. You'll hear his name called out many times tonight. He's a quarterback. He's 5'10", 172 and a senior. The wings are number 22, Tyler Harrison, 5'11", 175 and a junior, and number 2, Will Roach, sophomore, 6 foot 190, and of course, everybody's all-state player, number 1, Freddie Roach, will be playing fullback. He's 6'3", 236 and a senior.
And just to clarify one thing right quick, the tight end with that interior lineman's number must report to the official if he's going to go out on a pass, so the official will inform the defense. There is no advantage to that. He will be 99.9% of the time primarily a blocking tight end.
That's correct.
For the Wilson Warriors, of course, they run the standard wing T offense, and which has been perfected by, again, one of the region opponents here, the Deschler Tigers, and it is a very potent offense.
It is, it has become the standard around, with Deschler and now with Kevin Rose at Sheffield and Wilson been running it for a few years. It is the offense that most of the high school teams in this area have picked as their offensive choice. Wilson does a good job with it. They've got a couple of great running backs that, they're also in the leaders in the area in rushing too, and Barry Kelly and Tyler Armstrong, they're great running backs. And of course, Mitch Hill is the quarterback and does a good job for them also.
Go ahead.
All right, I'll go ahead and give the probable starting offense for Wilson, too. Number 25, Josh Ward. He is 6'3", 185 and a junior. The left tackle, number 56, Jeff Wilcoxon, 5'11", 182 and a sophomore. Left guard, number 55, John McDaniel, 6'2", 200 and a senior. You'll hear John's name mentioned a lot tonight on defense. He's an outstanding linebacker, and John's got some real key plays that he's going to have to make tonight to help stop the Wilson offense from his linebacker position. Center's number 61, Jeff Davis. He's 5'8", 235 and a junior. The right guard's number 53, Stephen Shanifelt. He's 6'1", 190 and a senior. Right tackle number 65, Dalton Hayes, 5'10", 220 and a junior. Split ends number 3 is Wes Winborn. Wingback is Adam Burchell, number 7, 5'7", 150 pounds. Quarterback, of course, is number 24, Mitch Hill, 5'11", 175 and a junior. Fullback, number 20, Barry Kelly. You'll hear his name called out a lot tonight. He is probably one of the toughest kids I've ever seen playing football. He'll be playing nose guard on defense tonight. He is 5'10", 180 and a senior. You'll hear his name called out a lot. Real tough running back, tough nose, loves to run over people. Number 2, Tyler Armstrong's probably got a little more speed. He's 5'7", 160 and a junior. Both Tyler and Barry, again, are in the leadership in the rushing in the area.
Well, there you have it. Partner, you ready for some football?
I'm ready for some football.
It's going to be a full house. It's a big Lauderdale County matchup also. It's the Brooks Lions here at Wilson to take on the Warriors. We'll be back with a coin flip and tonight's kickoff right after this message. High School, a big Lauderdale County matchup between the Brooks Lions and the Wilson Warriors. We're just about set for tonight's coin toss as we see the seniors for the Wilson Warriors will serve as team captains tonight. Of course, this is homecoming, and to add a little flavor to it, as we had already mentioned in the pregame, that this is a big 4A Region 8 matchup. This is also a Lauderdale County game. Wilson has won 2 consecutive county championships, and a win tonight would wrap up the 3rd, which would mean that Wilson could keep the county trophy. Of course, Brooks comes into this game undefeated, 6-0 on the season, 4-0 in Region 8.
Phil, this got all the makings of being a great game. As we talked about earlier in our pregame, this, to me, is kind of a must-win for Wilson. They're going to have to, with being 2-2 in the region, of course, they're kind of on the bubble right now. And this is a real important game to them if they want to stay in the playoff picture. Brooks, of course, is undefeated in the region, and a loss tonight would not affect them a lot as far as region standings are concerned. Wilson is going to have to come out and we've looked at some of the scores of past Brooks games this year, and by halftime, most all the teams have been out of the game with them. So we really feel like that Wilson's going to have to come out and play hard initially, play error-free football. Can't have turnovers like they had against Winfield, or this is going to be a long night for them.
Of course, you mentioned Brooks. They come into this game 6-0. They have been only tested in the second half one time this season. That was the opening game, which was played on a Thursday night to kick off Quad Cities area football. Brooks 21 over the Lexington Golden Bears 19. Other than that, like you just said, those games have been pretty well decided by halftime. Their second game, Brooks and Hamilton, Brooks rolled up 35 first half points, 330 yards of rushing in one half. Just an astounding figure to beat Hamilton 35-6. Next week they took on the Haleville Lions by halftime. The score was 48-0, and that was the final score also. So coming into the Deschler game, Brooks had not been tested in the second half. Deschler took them to halftime tied at 14. But Brooks owned particularly the fourth quarter as Brooks scored a touchdown in the third quarter against Deschler's no points, and 23 points against a very good Deschler team. And, of course, they're the two-time defending 4A state champions. They took Rogers right out of the game, 28 first quarter points to beat the Pirates 49-7. And last week had Central 21-0 at halftime on the way to a 42-18 victory.
Well, Phil, it looks like that everybody's ready to play football now. Both the teams are coming out on the field, and Brooks, of course, is in the white uniforms, visiting white, and Wilson is in their blue home uniforms. Wilson won the toss, and they are going to elect to receive the ball first and see if they can move the ball on the Brooks lines. Every series for Wilson is going to be important tonight. They've got to establish a running game. Kelly and Armstrong, I feel like, are going to have real good games. Armstrong, of course, I guess has got the better speed of the two. Kelly is real tough inside running the ball. And the offensive line for Brooks tonight, for Wilson tonight is going to have to play a real good game and try to control the ball a little bit and keep Brooks' offense off of the field. I think that's probably one of the best things that they can do is keep Brooks's and keep the Roach fellas off the field and score some points. We'll soon see, because they are going to receive first.
Dropping deep in twin formation for the Wilson Warriors, number 7 Adam Burchell, along with number 12 Jeremy Woody. And we just had a little accident here with our window. See if we can get this fixed back up. All right. Kicking off for the Brooks Lions, number 69, Judd Fry. Fry with a good foot into it, gets it down. Adam Burchell will take the ball at about his own 15, right up the center of the field. Burchell pops out toward us, finds a seam. It's the 40, midfield into Brooks territory, down to the Brooks 30-yard line. What a start for these Warriors.
That's a great run by Burchell. They just kind of clogged up the middle. He broke through the initial contact, got to the outside, and moved the ball down to the 30-yard line. Big return for Wilson, giving them a lot of momentum on their first series.
The quarterback will be number 24, Mitch Hill, a junior, 5'11", 175 pounds. So he'll lead this team up. Particularly, keep your eyes on number 20, Barry Kelly, the fullback. The wingman is number 7, Adam Burchell. Quick pitch out to Tyler Armstrong, going around left end. Gets by one man. Armstrong breaks containment. Will get down inside the 25, down to the 24. That'll be a pickup of about 6.
Philly got by Will Roach then on the outside, and then Matt Witten came over from his cornerback position and stopped him, but again, not before he got a good pickup on first down. Adam Burchell on that kickoff return, Phil, he might be pound for pound the toughest guy I know playing football. He is 5'7", 150 pounds, and you'll hear a lot more about him when he plays defense, because he'll knock your socks off even with that little size. But big rush on first down for Wilson so far.
Jeremy Woody along with number 25, Josh Ward, come out wide right. Tyler Armstrong with a quick handoff, gets around right in, will get the ball across the 20, down inside the 15, will be marked down at the 13. First down for Wilson at the Brooks 13-yard line.
I tell you, I hope you saw the block that number 25, Josh Ward, made then to open up the outside. He just annihilated, it looked like one of the outside linebackers for Wilson to spring that to get Armstrong to the outside. Tremendous block by number 25, Josh Ward.
Tyler Armstrong showing great speed, stretching this Brooks defense from sideline to sideline on the first 2 plays. Inside handoff to Barry Kelly, tough running inside. Kelly will get down near the 6.
Freddie Roach made the stop from his linebacker position again, but not right now. The Wilson Warriors on first down are getting big chunks of yards, and that really helps them because it really changes up and gives them a lot of options on the second down situations.
Actually, it'll be marked at the 7, a pickup of 6. Second down and 4. Wilson now in that familiar wing T offense. Mitch Hill is the quarterback, turns, hands off to Barry Kelly. Tough running inside, gets down inside the 5, will be marked down near the 3-yard line.
I tell you, you need to get that right side. Of course, number 61, Jeff Davis, the center, and Stephen Shanfield, the right guard. And number 77 also in there for Wilson, the offensive lineman. That was Joseph Staggs doing a good job opening up some holes for these Wilson running backs.
3rd down 1. Early on, big play right here as Wilson, first possession. Great run back by Burchell, set this up. Wes Winburn, number 3, goes wide left. Adam Burchell, the wingman, goes to the right side now in motion across. Barry Kelly with a handoff. Kelly drilled. Where will forward motion be marked?
Looks like it was number 11 that came in, Matt Witten, and put a good helmet on Barry Kelly to stop him. Not many people can make Barry Kelly go back a different way when they hit him the first time.
1st down, Wilson. Kelly's forward momentum got him down, picked up that yard. 1st and goal now from the 3-yard line for the Wilson Warriors. 9:05 remaining in this first quarter. First possession of the game for the Wilson Warriors. Jeremy Woody comes wide right. Again, the wingman Burchell on this right side. Quick snap. Tyler Armstrong coming right. Breaks one tackle. Cannot get away from the other as Freddie Roach, number 1, will drop him. Will actually maybe lose a little bit. 2nd down and goal from just inside the 4-yard line.
Yeah, Brooks' defense did a good job then of stopping up the middle, and Armstrong tried to come to the outside. And of course, Freddie Roach tracked him down. Looked like it was for a little bit of loss on that play.
I said the 4. The ball is actually marked just inside the 5. 2nd and goal. Burchell in motion, will take the handoff, going off left tackle, tries to turn it up, ran into his own man, knocked down by number 50, Tyler Zand.
I tell you, it's going to be tough to go when you try to run inside the tackles and slant to the outside with Brooks' speed. From even on the defensive lineman position, they have a lot of speed, but the linebackers are real good and real quick. They're going to have to drive the ball straight up the middle, I feel like, to get in and get in the score on this drive.
No gain on that play. 3rd and goal now from just inside the 5-yard line. Josh Ward wide left. Jeremy Woody wide right. Reverse to Burchell. Burchell trying to go around left end. Containment is there. Turned in by number 23, Rob Patterson, a junior, 5'11", 145 pounds. He stood his ground.
You're right there. Number 23, Rob Patterson, did an outstanding job. The guard pulled and tried to block him on the outside, and he just kind of hung with him, made the running back just kind of keep containment and slow him down a little bit, and then shed his blocker and actually made the tackle. Now Wilson's got a big decision here to make with 4th down, and they were moving the ball real well till he got inside the 10-yard line, and then Brooks' defense has come alive now and held him on 3 straight plays.
That was about a 4-yard loss. The ball on the 9-yard line. Double wingman in motion, fake. Hill trying to throw the ball down, almost intercepted. Flag on the play. Wait a minute, flag on the play.
That's going to be interesting to see the call on this, whether it was offensive or defensive interference. Wilson's clapping their hands.
We'll get the call. The ball was marked just inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. That was a 4th down play. I think the call may be the defender going through the receiver to try to get his hand on the ball. But that is an automatic 1st down.
That's new life for Wilson. I mean, they were really being stuffed inside the 10-yard line and failed on the 4th down possession. But the interference call now gives them a 1st down on the 5-yard line with 4 more plays to get it in the end zone, Phil.
Wide to the right side is number 12. That's Woody.
Inside handoff to Barry Kelly. Kelly falling forward, fights in, touchdown Wilson!
Well, just as I mentioned, Phil, I feel like they had to run the ball right up the middle. They couldn't get to the outside because of Brooks' speed, and Kelly ran the ball right up the middle. Great blocking, and he's a tough runner. He gets that low center of gravity, and he's not to be denied.
On for the point after is number 12. That's Jeremy Woody. Burchell is the holder. Good snap, good placement. The kick is up. It gets through. 6:27 in the first blood. Wilson 7, Brooks 0. Hang on, we'll be right back. 0. Brooks about to get their first possession, and not only did Wilson get the score, they took 5.5 minutes off the clock. Will Roach, number 2, picks up the squib kick. Will get the ball out to about the 35-yard line. First down for the first offensive possession for the Brooks Lions.
Well, Wilson offense did a great job, Phil, moving the ball, set up again by that great return by number 7, Adam Burchell, down to the 30-yard line. Wilson did get stopped inside the 10, but with the penalty, that gave him new life on the 5-yard line. Now the key is, can they stop this high-powered Brooks offense?
Patterson and Harrison both out on the left side of the offense. Woodford throwing the ball out, trying to get it to number 23. That's Patterson. Pass was behind him, incomplete. Second down and 10. Typically, Brooks will line up in a double wing. That time, split out in a slot formation to the left side, one wing man.
You know, that's kind of a surprise to us that Brooks comes out throwing the ball. Woodford's 11 for 31 passing this year, but listen to this, Will Roach, number 2, has caught 6 of the 11 passes, so I'm sure he would be the favorite receiver for Woodford.
Those would probably be those little swing pass types also. Number 17, Zach Woodford, the senior quarterback, under center. Fullback, Freddie Roach bouncing outside. Gets around left containment, will get the ball out over the 50-yard line down to the Wilson 49. First down for the Brooks Lions.
You know, we've heard so much about Freddie Roach, but just to watch him and look at his physical stature out there, you know, he looks like a college player playing against a bunch of junior high school players physically. He showed his speed and his strength then, getting to the outside, picking up a first down for Brooks, now inside the 50-yard line.
Good blocking at the point of attack also for that Brooks offensive line. Double wing, slot out to the right side. Will Roach in motion, inside handoff to Freddie Roach, just burrowing forward. Will get the ball down to the 46-yard line.
Number 86, then Craig Stewart came in from his defensive end position to make the stop after a pickup of about 3 yards.
Second down, 7. Again, Wilson scoring on their initial possession. This is Brooks' initial possession of this football game. Will Roach in motion. Here comes that option. Pitches it out to Roach. He gets open down the sideline. Will be run out of bounds.
I tell you again, number 17, Zach Woodford, he does an outstanding job running this option offense for Brooks. He just seems to be able to read and make the right decisions in that quarterback position, whether to keep it or whether to pitch it out. Again, great move, great pitch to Will Roach for a big first down.
On those tight plays, it ends up being almost just a toss sweep as the fullback just fires out. No fake into him, just fires out, gets into the blocking scheme. Quick pass out. Woodford finds number 11, Matt Witten, another senior at 6 foot, 187 pounds. That will be a negligible pickup as the pursuit got out on Witten in a hurry.
Well, what caused that to happen was number 23, Shannon Castle, slowed him down a little bit then, and then John McDaniel came over from his linebacker position. Great linebacker for Wilson. He is second leading tackler in the area with 90 tackles so far for the year.
That pass play will net 1 yard. Second down, 9. Dustin Holden, number 27, is the wingman on the right side. Inside handoff to Frederick. No, the quarterback kept the ball. Zach Woodford, great ball handling. Had everyone fooled. The fake into Freddie Roach, and then he just broke off right tackle, found the clear sailing at the center of the field. Touchdown, Brooks.
Well, again, there. Zach Woodford used the quick moves. Great ball handling by him. He's done it all year long. Everybody in the stadium thought Roach had the ball. Woodford pulled it back in from that belly play, kept it. Nobody even within 5 yards when he got past the line of scrimmage. Now Brooks, of course, have scored on their initial possession. And
on for the point after, number 66, Van Holden. He drills it. 4:21 of the first quarter. Both teams score on their first possession. Brooks 7, Wilson 7. We'll be right back. Off again. Burchell breaks free down the left sideline this time. And tremendous running. Burchell will be marked just short of the 50-yard line.
I'll tell you, so far the specialty team effort goes to the Wilson Warriors on the kickoff. Burchell again went towards the middle where all of his where his blockers were set up, and then got to the outside, shook a couple of tackles, and now again they're in pretty good field position, almost on the 50-yard line.
Number 24, quarterback Mitch Hill with a play now to come out into the huddle. 4:11 still in this first quarter. Ward and Winburn come out wide right. Tyler Armstrong with a fake inside handoff to Barry Kelly. Kelly will get across the 50 down to the Brooks 47-yard line.
The running got pretty tough in the middle then, but Barry Kelly picked up about 4 yards on determined running.
Second down, 6. Coming into this game, Brooks had been averaging 373 yards rushing, only giving up 138 yards rushing per game. Wilson with a good showing already. Wideouts either way. Tyler Armstrong in motion, quick pass out. Jeremy Woody, number 12. He will be wrestled to the ground immediately.
That was number 27 then for Brooks that made the tackle. That was Dustin Holden. He is a 10th grader, 5'7", 136. Did a good job of making the tackle out on the receiver, because if he could have got past him, he had a lot of running room, and that's the way that play is designed to do, Phil. Just a quick hit and hoping that the receiver can miss the initial tackle and then get some use his speed to get to the outside.
Third down, 6. Mitch Hill looking first to throw the ball out in the flat, and then trying to go down the field to his tight end, number 25, Josh Ward. Nothing there. Brooks will hold on this possession for Wilson as it brings up now 4th down and 6. That will stop the clock. Still 2:50 remaining in this first quarter. Action-packed first quarter.
The first play they did, they run Kelly up the middle. He got 4 yards, and then they tried 2 passes, both of them really for one incomplete, one for no yardage at all, and now they're in position where they're going to have to punt the ball and turn it back over to Brooks.
Deep for Brooks, number 22, Tyler Harrison, standing just about his 15-yard line. Nice high kick. Stephen Shanifelt. Ball will hit inside the 20, bounce down across the 10-yard line, will be killed at the Brooks 9-yard line. Wilson with that big kickoff return by Adam Burchell at least has got Brooks backed up into something of a hole inside their own 10-yard line.
I feel like, Phil, that what's going to have to happen is that Wilson's defensive linemen are going to have to get in the backfield to try to break something up before Woodford can get it started, and hope that the supporting cast from the linebackers can come in and finish off the job.
A lot of guys along the line of scrimmage for Wilson. Will Roach in motion, takes the handoff, going right, will be caught, brought down.
That's number 23 then, Shannon Castle, from his outside linebacker position, did a great job of tackling Will Roach for no gain, maybe even about a 2-yard loss, back to about the 8-yard line.
It will be a loss of about 2. 2nd and 12. Zach Woodford, under center for Brooks, drops straight back, fires the ball out into the flat, has a receiver there, is met right at that point. Number 13, Zach Peck, brings in the pass, will pick the ball, pick up yardage out to very near the 19-yard line. It's going to bring up a big 3rd down and about, we'll give him a long one here.
That was a big play then for Brooks to move the ball out of the shadows of their own goalpost. Now they're faced with a 3rd and 1 yard for the first down to keep the drive alive.
Here in the first quarter, we've already seen more passes than we expected to see in the whole game for out of these Brooks lines. A little different game plan. Wing right, slot right. Freddie Roach, number 1, the fullback, right behind quarterback Zach Woodford. Woodford hands off to Freddie Roach. He will burrow forward, will get the ball out to the 22-yard line. That'll be enough yardage for the first down.
Number 61 then, Jeff Davis, came in from his defensive tackle position and made the stop, but not until after he got the first down. You know, Coach Winburn's changed up his defense a little bit tonight by going with a 5-man front and bringing in Barry Kelly at the nose guard position. I think he's seen that to try to get Barry and his quickness in the backfield to try to make some mistakes. But so far, number 58, Cody Finn, the center for Brooks, has done a good job on him.
Inside handoff to Freddie Roach again. He will cross over the 25 to the 26-yard line. Under 1 minute remaining in the first quarter.
On the stop then was number 84, Jonathan Studstill, who had come in for Craig Stewart. Look, he had a little bit of equipment problems, and Studstill came in the defensive end position.
Freddie Roach will pick up about 3, 2nd down, 7. Double wing formation. Harrison in motion. Woodford flagged down on the play. Woodford running the option, just a keeper now as he breaks a tackle. Woodford breaks out into the open. He's going to go. Woodford to the 30, 20, 10. That's a touchdown, Brooks, but hang on. We have a flag back at the line of scrimmage, actually in the backfield area.
Phil, again, number 17, Zach Woodford, continues to impress me. That was about a 68, 69-yard run. A little more than that, I guess. About a 73-yard run then for the touchdown. Looks like it might be coming back. But again, he does a great job on that option quarterback, on the option, either keeping it or pitching it back. That time, he broke a couple of tackles and then used his speed once he got past him. And then the rest is history. He made it in for a touchdown. But it is coming back again. So far in tonight's game, the breaks have gone Wilson's way so far. First with the interference call down inside the 5, and then with the touchdown being called back on the run by Zach Woodford. And that was like Brooks is going to be facing about a 2nd down and about 11 for a first down now instead of 6 points being on the board.
Of course, the penalty stops the clock. We have 16 seconds remaining in this first quarter, potentially the last play of this first quarter. Brooks 7, Wilson 7. Harrison in motion. Woodford straight back, fires the ball down the field, looking for a receiver, flag down. Trying to find again number 13, Zach Peck.
Number 10, then Mitch Howard was with him step for step, and I'm not so sure if maybe he didn't push off a little bit. The official behind the play called the interference.
That will be the mark off. Of course, that will be a first down for Brooks. That will move the ball up across the 35 to the 36-yard line. First down for the Brooks Lions.
Again, Phil, we're seeing something a little unusual out of Brooks with them throwing the ball as much as they had. I'm sure Wilson was prepared for them to come in, and they got so many people, and the big boys, they're almost in a goal line defense on every play.
Matt Witten and number 23, Rob Patterson, go wide right, double wing formation. Will Roach in motion. Inside handoff to Freddie Roach. Twisting and turning will get up over the 40. And that should run us out. And that does in the first quarter. It's Brooks. Wilson 7. Brooks with a 2nd down. 6 yards to go. Harrison in motion. Woodford back passing again, looking downfield, trying to find number 23, Patterson. Patterson looked like he got his hands out a little bit on the Wilson defender. No call, incomplete pass, 3rd down 6.
Number 10, then Mitch Howard playing cornerback was in pretty good position. Then Woodford had plenty of time to throw the ball.
Not something we expected to be saying, Woodford throwing the ball, but we have seen a lot of passes here in this first quarter and the initial play of this second quarter. Patterson wide left, double wing. Harrison in motion. Woodford with a keeper around left end will only pick up a couple of yards. Nice defensive play, I think, led by 55. John McDaniel for Wilson.
Actually, number 12, Jeremy Woody made the stop. But again, what happened then, it looked like somebody on the defensive line got in and caused Woodford a little bit of confusion and stopped them. And now it looks like Brooks is back in punt formation, but with 4th down and 2, who knows what they're going to do.
The ball is marked on the Brooks 43. Back to accept the punt, number 12, Jeremy Woody. Woody moves back to his 20-yard line. Now a flag.
I believe that Brooks is going to be caught with the delay of the game. They weren't ready to punt the ball, unsure what they were going to do offensively, and now they've got a 5-yard penalty for delay of the game. Well, that helps out Wilson a little bit because I think that takes maybe an option of maybe faking the punt a little bit away from Woodford. Now he's faced with 4th and about 8.
Woodford is the punter. Good snap. Under a little pressure, Woodford gets off a punt that'll come down, hit on the Wilson 35-yard line. Will be marked right on the 35. First down for the Wilson Warriors. Pretty good field position.
Well, you're right, but how big was that penalty that caused the touchdown to come back where Woodford ran for about 73 yards? 3 big penalties in this game so far. 2 of them been interference calls. One against Brooks and one against Wilson, and then of course the penalty that brought the touchdown back for Brooks. But right now Wilson has got pretty good field position, as you say.
Wilson in a double wing now. Armstrong in motion, inside handoff to Barry Kelly. Kelly breaks the initial tackle, works his way forward across the 40 out to near the 42-yard line.
Again, Phil, I think that's going to be their bread and butter play tonight to work. With Brooks' speed on the outside, I think that Barry Kelly's going to have to open up the inside. So far, when he's ran the ball up the middle, he's made pretty good yardage on each attempt.
Slot left, double wing in motion. Adam Burchell coming toward us. Inside handoff again to Kelly. Kelly will be chopped down at the 43. Will pick up 1 yard.
Number 50 then, Tyler Zahn, came in from a linebacker position and did a real good job, made a real sound tackle for about a 1-yard gain. Now all of a sudden Wilson is faced with a big 3rd down and about a yard and a half, 2 yards to go to keep possession.
Winburn wide to the near side. Number 25, Josh Ward, wide right. Armstrong in motion, inside handoff. Kelly. Kelly will burst out across the 45, out to the 46. That will be a first down for the Wilson Warriors. 9:50 remaining before halftime.
Well, it looks like Coach Winburn's been listening to me. They're running those plays right up the middle, and they've been making yardage. And now that big first down, they're keeping possession with less than 10 minutes to go in the half with the ball on their own 45-yard line.
Burchell in motion, quick pitch outside, trying to get Tyler Armstrong wide around the left end. Brooks will have none of that. Will Roach, along with number 27, Dustin Holden, will drop Armstrong for about a 3-yard loss. Second down, 13.
Again, a big play by the young sophomore Roach, Will Roach, from the outside linebacker position. Just shed his blocker, made a big tackle for a 4-yard loss. With Wilson trying to run the ball outside, it's just going to be awfully hard for them to do that tonight against this speed.
Hill straight back. A lot of time now. The pressure gets there.
Number 64, Jason Hewitt, came in from the defensive tackle position. It looks like the defenders for Brooks did a good job of covering the receivers, and Hill had no place to go with it, and 64, Jason Hewitt, kind of caught him from behind. He was trying to make a cut to run the ball himself.
The loss is all the way back to the 40. Third down, 15. Ward right, Jeremy Woody wide to the near side. The wingman, Adam Burchell. Hill straight back, trying to find Woody down this left sideline. Nothing there. Good coverage provided by number 23, Rob Patterson, for Brooks. That'll bring up fourth down and 15. The clock is stopped, 8 minutes and 14 seconds. Of course, 7-7 is your score. Stephen Shanifelt, number 53, will drop back to punt for Brooks. Deep to receive the punt. Number 2, Will Roach, and I believe that's 22, Tyler Harrison. Both of them. Harrison will take the punt. Inside is 25. Moving around the left end, will be poked out of bounds somewhere near the 35-yard line.
Phil, it looked like somebody got blocked in the back down here. There is a flag on about the 31-yard line. If that's the case, that's a big break for Wilson, because that'll come back and put the ball inside the 20-yard line.
Through primarily Adam Burchell's efforts and penalties against Brooks, this Wilson team, although tied on the scoreboard, is winning the field position battle. It is a clip call against Brooks.
Phil, the first quarter stats, Brooks has 85 total yards. They have 73 rushing yards and 12 passing yards. Woodford's 2 for 3, no interception for 12 yards and 8 rushing attempts. Of course, Woodford had 1 for 26 yards, and looks like Freddie Roach had 6 for 49 yards, and his brother Will 1 for a -2 yards, for 85 total yards offense for Brooks in the first quarter.
Slot right, Woodford trying to bounce out toward the right, then tried to cut it back up the middle. Nothing there. We'll pick up maybe 2 yards. Second down and 8.
Number 63, then, Brandon Rich, came in from his defensive tackle position for a 2-yard gain. Again, we've talked about it. What hurt Brooks in the first quarter, they were penalized twice for 9 yards. One penalty caused a touchdown for Wilson. One penalty brought a touchdown back for Brooks. So that 2 penalties cost 14 points turnaround there.
Will Roach in motion. Woodford, fumble on the play. No signal yet. Wilson thinks they have the football. No signal from the officials. Now it comes up. That'll be no gain. Brooks did get back on the football. Third down and 8. Clock is moving now as we're inside. 7 minutes remaining before halftime. Be sure to stay with us at halftime, as we will pick up all the festivities here at homecoming for the Wilson Warriors. Of course, both bands will perform. Double wing formation. Harrison in motion toward us. Woodford back to pass again. Finds Will Roach out in this right flat. He has the sidelines. 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Brooks.
Big play for Brooks then. Of course, Woodford hit his favorite receiver, Will Roach. It looked like Wilson was doing a good job containing the running game, and all of a sudden Woodford steps back and throws a little pass out in the flat to Will Roach, and he used the afterburners and went on down for the score.
The wide man just cleared that area out. Roach from a wing position slid out into that area. Woodford, nice pass, hit him in stride, and there was no catching him. On for the point after. Number 66, Van Holden. Patterson will be his holder. As they swap footballs now, the officials get whatever the problem was. Now it's corrected.
Well, you just continue to be impressed with Zach Woodford because of not only running the ball but also throwing the ball. Great put the pass right on the money, right in stride. Will Roach caught it over his shoulder, and the rest is history. It was a touchdown, and now it looks like Brooks is going to lead 14-7 with 6:27 left to go in the first half.
And we'll take a time. Kicks off. The ball will bounce out of bounds.
Well, Phil, I'm not a rocket scientist, but I believe that was a pretty good call on Brooks' part to kick the ball away from Adam Burchell, who has most of the offense tonight for Wilson.
That gives me time to agree with you. You're not a rocket scientist.
Okay, thank you. That does give Wilson the ball on the 35-yard line in pretty good field position, but now instead of starting off on the, going to be on the.
They will re-kick it. That is a penalty, and Wilson had the option. They will enforce the penalty.
Well, I guess they want him to kick to Burchell. I'm not so sure if I wouldn't have taken that play and gone ahead and set up on the 35-yard line. Wilson, so far in the first quarter, they only had 32 yards total offense, 10 rushing attempts for 31 yards. Barry Kelly had 29 of those yards on 4 attempts. Passed the ball twice, 1 completion, and 1 yard. So their offense has basically been shut down, other than the fact that they haven't had very far to go because of the great returns that Burchell set up for them.
Van Holden again will kick off. Jeremy Woody, along with Adam Burchell, are back in deep formation. Woody will accept the kickoff at his own 20. Looking at the middle of the field, finds a seam, breaks across, will pick up out to the 38-yard line. So on the penalty, Wilson betters itself by 3 yards. First down for the Wilson Warriors, 6:17 remaining before halftime. Brooks 14, Wilson 7.
The Wilson offensive line, of course, the tight end is Josh Ward. The left tackle is Jeff Wilcoxon. The left guard is John McDaniel. Center's Jeff Davis. 53, Stephen Shanafield's a right guard. And the little man, Joseph Stagg, 6'1", 310, is playing right tackle for him.
Mitch Hill under center, hands off to Tyler Armstrong. Coming around left end, finds a seam, cuts it back up. Will pick up out to the 44-yard line. Nice pickup on first down of about 6 yards.
He did a good job then. Number 27, Dustin Holden, came in from the cornerback position to make the stop. But again, Wilson's getting pretty good yardage on their first downs, on their first play so far against Brooks. Brooks has come up and made some big stops to hold them. But on the first down possessions, they've made some pretty good runs.
Fumble on the snap. Very difficult to see, I think. Brooks has it, getting up with the football, number 22, Tyler Harrison, a junior, 5'11", 175 pounds. Harrison with a fumble recovery.
The quarterback never had the ball then, Phil, and we talked about before the game started, if Wilson's going to stay in the game with Brooks, they have got to play error-free football. No turnovers. If they play like they played against Winfield, it's going to be an awful long night for these Wilson Warriors. Now, instead of having a pretty good, after picking up a lot of yards on that first possession, on that first down, Brooks has the ball inside Wilson territory.
The ball is on the Wilson 44. Crossing motion in the backfield. Harrison will take the handoff deep, get around left end. Will pick up down to the 33-yard line. So that's going to be a pickup of 11. First down for Brooks.
I got a trivia question for you, Phil. When was the first game played between Wilson and Brooks? What year?
Well, let's see.
We'll come back at the commercial. You know what the Atlanta Braves do? They come back after the other inning and give the answer.
Good, because I was going to have to do some math. Slot right. Will Roach in motion toward us. Woodford with a fake into Freddie Roach, then turns it back up. We'll get down and cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line.
That's the same play that Woodford did earlier to score on the touchdown. He just basically fakes it to Freddie Roach right up the middle, and then kind of keeps the ball and follows his block through the hole, hoping to get to the outside. He picked up about 4 yards on that play. Still asking the trivia question.
Still doing some calculations.
To take your shoes off in a minute.
Harrison in motion. Crossing action in the backfield. This time it's number 2, Will Roach, with taking the handoff, going off left tackle. falls down very near and will be marked at the 20-yard line. That's another first down. Brooks now beginning to chew up first downs after the turnover.
I'll tell you, Will Roach, number 2, and Jason Allen, who played number 3, plays for Muscle Shoals, have a lot of the same moves. I don't know if you've noticed that. They're almost the same size physically, and they both have skills that there's no coach in the world that can teach them to them. They're only God-given abilities, and they both are outstanding running backs.
Inside handoff to Freddie Roach. The big fullback falls forward to the 16-yard line. Pick up a 4. Well, I can tell you this much, partner. Brooks began varsity play in 1969 because when I was a senior at T.M. Rogers prior to my graduation in 70, or at least that's when they asked me to leave, graduation being another term, we did play Brooks in a varsity football game in the fall of 1969. Now, the question is, when did Wilson begin play? I don't know.
Well,
Roach in motion toward us. Woodford with a fake inside to Freddie Roach, now running the option. No option man out there. Good pursuit out by the Wilson Warriors will force Woodford down to the 12-yard line. 3:35 still remaining before halftime. It's going to bring up now 3rd down and 3.
Woodford did look back trying to look for Roach, and he wasn't there, and he just had to eat the ball. Now it's 3rd down and 3. The year that Wilson and Brooks first played their first football game was 1970, 30 years ago.
30 years ago this year. Inside handoff to the big fullback. Trying to go off left tackle, will be forced back inside into the middle. Will be marked down, I believe, at the 11. That's going to be a little short, about a yard short. 4th and 1. 2:45 and the clock moving. Big call here for Brooks.
The history trivia question actually came from Steve Harrison, the father of number 22, Tyler Harrison. I saw him before the game, and he gave me the history. Now, after 1970, they quit playing for several years. And the next question is, what year did they pick the game back up?
Freddie Roach into the middle of the defensive line. Looks like he will be marked just over the 10. If so, that will be a first down. And so motioned by our officials. 1st and goal just inside the 10-yard line for the Brooks Lions.
The scoreboard shows that Brooks has 3 timeouts left. I thought they called a timeout earlier. Maybe I'm wrong. But if that's the case, there's be about 2 minutes to go before this play's actually run. And I know Wilson would love to keep them out of the end zone before the end of the first half.
Wideouts either way, double wing formation. The big fullback, number 1, Freddie Roach, right behind his quarterback, 17, Zach Woodford. Inside handoff to Roach. He finds the end zone. Touchdown, Brooks.
Straight up the middle. Great blocking by the offensive line, led by number 58, Cody Finn, the 6'1", 238 senior, playing center for Brooks. Number 67, Daniel Louie, 5'9", 170 sophomore. Number 54, Stephen Louie, 5'8", 171 junior. Nick Rook, number 53, is 6'2", 226 and a senior. And 69, Judd Fry, 6 feet, 187 senior. And 64, Jason Hewitt, 6'2", 204 and a junior. Great job offensive line for Brooks.
Van Holden on for the point after. The kick is up. It is good. 1:43 remaining before halftime. Brooks 21. Holden with a kickoff. Burchell, number 7, will collect the ball at his own 15-yard line, right up the middle of the field. Burchell explodes over the 30, will get near the 34-yard line. First down for the Wilson Warriors, now down by 14, 21-7. A little over a minute and a half remaining before halftime. And remember, do stay tuned at halftime. Both bands will perform, plus we will have festivities here as it is homecoming for the Wilson Warriors.
I'm not sure if Wilson just won't try to run the clock out here with 1:35 to go in the first half. not chancing another mistake and a possible quick points by Brooks.
Wes Winburn wide left, wingman to the left side. Hill dropping straight back, now rolling left, under pressure. Mitch Hill will be dropped back at the 25-yard line. The rush led by number 67, Daniel Louie, along with big number 89, that's Brian Johnson. Brian is a senior, 6'5", 284, playing at the defensive tackle position.
And he's pretty fired up right now. He's getting the turnaround, trying to get the team pumped up for the defense for Brooks. Big loss of 10 yards for Wilson then.
Ball is on the 25-yard line. Second down. Hill dropping straight back, looking down the sideline. Jeremy Woody is there. The ball hits him, but Woody cannot hang on to the football. It is incomplete. 47 seconds now on the clock.
That was a great pass by Mitch Hill then, and he caught Woody in stride. Just so happens it went through his hands, and that would have been a big play for Wilson, putting them in Brooks territory.
Could have been a big play. But instead, it is third down. The ball must get out to the 44, so it's about 19 to go. Again, the clock did stop, 47 seconds left. Wilson will take a timeout. Let's take halftime. Again, your score is Brooks 21, Wilson 7. Wilson with the ball now, third down, 19 to go from their own 25-yard line. Head coach David Winburn out meeting with his team during that timeout. Wing right, Mitch Hill straight back, fires the ball down the middle of the field, looking for Adam Burchell, is thrown up and intercepted by Matt Witten. Number 11, Witten, now down the left sidelines, will be driven out of bounds at about the Wilson 27-yard line. Another turnover for the Warriors. This one right here before halftime.
I tell you, number 3, Wes Winburn, came running over from the other side of the field to make that stop. Or if not, Witten might have been in the end zone for a touchdown for Brooks. Again, I know Coach Winburn's trying to make things happen, and that could almost was disaster for him, because that would have put Brooks up 28-7 at halftime. And I'm not so sure if Woodford's not, he's back in the shotgun, probably going for the end zone.
Still 33 seconds here. Woodford looking right, fires the ball out. Here has Patterson. Patterson hit hard. That's number 23, Shannon Castle, with a nice play for the Wilson Warriors. The pass falls incomplete. Second down, 10, 27 seconds now remaining in the half.
Again, with 27 seconds, they're going to have 2 or 3 more plays to get the ball down close enough with 3 timeouts left to either attempt a field goal or get it into the end zone.
Will Roach goes wide to the left side, slot right. Woodford looking out, trying to find his big fullback out of the backfield. Freddie Roach caught the ball at about the 7-yard line in stride. A well-designed play. Just caught Wilson with not enough guys out there to cover everybody.
Well, again, Woodford from his quarterback position just does an outstanding job. The offensive line gave him plenty of time to decide what he wanted to do, which receiver to go to. The big man came out of the backfield. He hit him in stride, and it was not to be denied an extra point. Now, with 19 seconds to go in the first half, Brooks picks up on another mistake by Wilson, and now they lead 28, or if they, yeah, it is 28-7 with almost 20 seconds to go.
Let's take a timeout with them. We'll be right back. 7, Burchell, but the ball goes out of bounds. Chasing it for Wilson was number 23, Shannon Castle, but a flag down as the kickoff goes out of bounds.
Well, again, Phil, turnovers have been a key. Have led, we talked about earlier, that Wilson had to play an error-free football game. So far, two turnovers have cost them 14 points. An interception that led back for a touchdown then by Freddie Roach. And the fumble by the quarterback earlier also led for a touchdown for Brooks. So they cannot make mistakes, as we talked about, against this outstanding Brooks football team if they want to stay in the game.
The flag was picked up. The ball was touched by a Warrior before it went out of bounds. Tyler Armstrong trying to come around left end. Will get the ball out to the 17-yard line. That should do it. That'll get us to halftime. Your score at halftime, Brooks 28, Wilson 7. Stay tuned for the halftime festivities. Steve and I will be back as we hope to be able to get back and help present this Wilson homecoming court. We'll do our best for that. Otherwise, we'll be back for the third quarter action.
He would have a little bit of concern about that, but it hadn't failed him any because it's worked real well. I remember watching Zach run with weights on his back as he ran. He's already been said he's probably one of the strongest, if not the strongest player on Brooks' football team. Will have a lot of opportunities academic-wise after he gets out of high school. He's a very intelligent young man. I know he's visited a couple of the Ivy League schools already, and the Naval Academy is also very interested in him, and wish him the best of luck, as well as all the other seniors, both on the Brooks team and the Wilson team, after they graduate. But Zach is a fine young man and has done an outstanding job at quarterback, worked very hard to get where he is tonight.
And as we were talking a while ago, we not keeping up that closely with Brooks. They're not being one of the teams in our coverage area. It just kind of read scores, and of course everybody had heard about Freddie Roach, and then his brother Will Roach made a splash as a sophomore here, but the trigger is pulled by Zach Woodford, and he is very, very good. We're going to take a short break right here. We'll be back with third quarter action right after this. Quarter action, Brooks 28, Wilson 7 at halftime. Into kickoff for the Wilson Warriors, number 12, that's Jeremy Woody. Back deep for the Brooks Lions. In the middle, number 2, Will Roach, the sophomore. Flanked by number 11, Matt Witten, and Tyler Harrison nearest us at about the 15-yard line. Attempt at an onside kick, heads up play by number 69 for Brooks. That's Judd Fry, senior, 6 foot, 187 pounds. Man on the spot, saw the ball, got right on it. Good attempt by Wilson, but Brooks there and ready. First down for the Brooks Lions at their own 49-yard line.
Field in the first half, Brooks had 153 yards of total offense, 133 yards rushing the ball, and I believe they talked to Mr. Eason a little bit because they had 120 yards passing the ball also, so that would give us about 273 yards of total offense. They had 2 touchdowns in the air. Now, that's the least thing we expected to happen tonight out of Brooks, who have only attempted 31 passes all year before they got into tonight's game and completed only 11. So we didn't expect them to put the ball in the air. They have and been very successful with it.
Freddie Roach with the initial handoff will pick up 11. First down at the Wilson 39-yard line. Again, Freddie Roach takes the handoff, breaks out into the clear here on the right side of the offense. Will be cut down right at the Wilson 26-yard line. Another first down burst.
In the first half, also, Brooks had 1 fumble. They had 4 penalties for 29 yards. They scored on an 81-yard touchdown reception by Will Roach. They had a 9-yard rush by Freddie Roach, and then a 27-yard touchdown pass to Freddie Roach also.
Crossing action in the backfield. Wingman on the right side. Harrison takes the handoff, goes around left end. Will get the ball down inside the Wilson 20. He'll be marked down at the 19-yard line.
And of course, they also had the touchdown for 26 yards by Woodford, for Zach Woodford, early in the first quarter.
Harrison with a pickup of 8. Second down and 2. Witten goes wide left, double wing formation. Inside handoff Freddie Roach bounces it out to the left side. Will get more than enough yardage needed for the first down. He'll be pushed back, but will be marked down very near the 13-yard line. First down for the Brooks Lions.
Tell you can't say enough about these running backs, but you still have to compliment this offensive line with Jason Hewitt, Nick Rook, Stephen Louis, Cody Finn, Daniel Louis, and Judd Fry. They're doing a great job. They have all year long for these Brooks Lions, and there's no way that these running backs, as good as they are, could mount up the yardage that they have if it were not for that offensive line.
Quick handoff to Will Roach coming around right in. Gets inside the 10 down to the 5-yard line. That'll be a pickup of, again, about 8 on first down. Second down 2. Right at the 5 of the Wilson Warriors. Barely 2 minutes into this third quarter. Brooks taking the onside, attempted onside kick. Good field position and driving it right into Wilson territory.
I tell you, Phil, it's going to be interesting to see Sunday in my Sunday school class that I have. Of course, Nick Rook, who plays offensive line for Brooks, and Cody Finn, who also is a center for Brooks, they've got a little talk going with Craig Stewart, number 86, who also is in the class. I carried a bunch of them out to eat a couple of weeks ago, and Cody Finn and Craig Stewart went. We went to the depot up in Collinwood, Tennessee. It's a buffet. Those boys got their money worth, I'll tell you that. Cody and Craig ate about 5 plates apiece, and you can see that it's worked on both of them. They both play well.
Zach Peck wide left. Will Roach in motion. Inside handoff to Freddie Roach from the fullback position. Touchdown for Brooks. He did cross the plane of the goal line.
Well, again, this offense for Brooks is just so potent, and they have so many different weapons. When you look at Woodford, basically being the trigger man, can do so much with the ball running and passing. And then you have Freddie Roach playing in the backfield, who, again, looks like a man among boys against most teams, as big as he is and as strong, as fast as he is. And then his younger brother, Will Roach, who's only a sophomore at 6 foot 190, has got tremendous ability. They have just got so much talent. And, of course, Tyler Harrison, who does a great job. Again, they've just got a great offense.
That pushes our score to Brooks 35, Wilson 7. We may be seeing the mantle passed. Of course, the last 2 years in a row, the 4A state champion has been from Region 8, and of course that is the Deschler Tigers. And Deschler, although not out of the running by any means, but to be honest, Deschler is not the potent team they have been the last 2 years. This Brooks team could assume that leadership role in Region 8 and go very deep, if not all the way through these playoffs.
I tell you, it's going to be interesting to see when Brooks plays Fayette County. That is going to be a great game. Of course, you got Brooks, who is 4-0 in the region, Winfield 4-0, Fayette County's 3-1, Deschler 3-1, Wilson 2-2. The rest of them are 0-4. So that Fayette County Brooks game is shaping up to be the game for the region.
Jeremy Woody takes the kickoff at his own 11. Will move the ball out across the 25. He'll be marked down at the 27-yard line. First down for Wilson, 9:18. Still on the clock here in the third quarter. This will be the first possession for Wilson here in the third quarter.
Phil, while we have an opportunity, we ought to go ahead and mention the officials for tonight. So we've got a very veteran crew led by Jerry Wallace, who's the referee. Dudley Hester is the umpire. Darren Richardson, linesman. Our own David Looney is the line judge. Robert Black, back judge. And Rodney McKelvey is the clock operator.
Wes Winburn goes wide right. Adam Burchell, number 7, is the wingman on this near side. Inside handoff to Barry Kelly. Kelly, after a good first quarter, kind of disappeared in the second quarter, but that carry there will get him out to the 33-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of about 6 yards. Second down 4.
And this, again, on first down, Wilson has moved the ball against Brooks. It's been the downs after the first one that have really hurt them as far as moving the ball offensively.
Again, the handoff to Kelly, this time off right guard. Kelly running hard, Burst across the 40, will be marked down at the 44-yard line. First down for the Wilson Warriors. 8:40 still on the clock here. Wilson getting that initial possession and their initial first down of this third quarter.
I tell you, we talk about Barry Kelly and Barry Kelly. I talked to Coach Wimburn a little bit before the game, and he was telling me a story about him this week. Barry's back has been hurting him off and on for the last week or so, and they weren't sure what it was. And we'll have this play run.
Again, the handoff inside to Barry Kelly will get across the 45.
But Coach Wimburn was telling me that he came to his office Wednesday and was sitting in his office, and it didn't look like he felt real well. And Coach Wimburn asked him what was wrong, and he said, "No, nothing's wrong, Coach. I feel fine." And come to find out that the night before, Barry had passed a kidney stone and never missed a day's practice or a game or anything. So we've talked about him off and on the games we've watched him cover, and he's tough as a pine knot. And to pass a kidney stone and not even miss a practice.
Hand off to number 2, Tyler Armstrong, around right end. I can attest to that from personal experience. The kidney stone I had about almost a year ago now put me in the hospital for 3 days. I cannot imagine playing a football game, much less practice or not missing a beat like that. That is one tough individual. It'll be 3rd down and 2. The ball is across the 50 into the Brooks side of the football field. Wing left, inside handoff to Kelly. He's hit in the backfield. The attack led by number 67, Daniel Louie, a sophomore, 5'9", 170 pounds. He got there about the same time as the ball got to Barry Kelly.
Big play then by Daniel Louie coming in and making the stop, and finished off by number 58, Cody Finn.
Kelly comes out of the lineup. Seems to be having a problem with maybe his left shoulder. That'll take a timeout. We'll take a timeout with him. Brooks 2. The ball at the Brooks 49-yard line. Double wing formation. Wide man to the near side of the field. Deep handoff to number 7, Adam Burchell. Put a man in motion trying to spread the defense, but not fooled. Number 53, Nick Rook.
I'm not sure if they made it or not, Phil. It depends on where they spot the ball, but I believe he's going to be a little short. It looks to me like it's going to be Brooks' football.
That is the call. Brooks holds on this initial possession for the Wilson Warriors in the third quarter. 6:14 on the clock. 35-7 is your score. The Brooks Lions out on top. It is homecoming here at Wilson.
On that last possession by Brooks on the touchdown, Zach Woodford went over 100 yards rushing.
Flag on the play. I think our slot man over here, Patterson, number 23, had set up and then tried to adjust himself on the line and gave the impression of starting forward, and that is a penalty.
Yeah, I see David Looney patting him on the shoulder as he goes by and says, "Hey, that's penalty's on you."
Offside, he stepped across the ball. That'll move it back. It's 1st and 15. The ball marked on the Brooks 43-yard line. Zach Peck, number 13, comes wide to the near side of the football field. Big Freddie Roach is the fullback. Now Will Roach in motion. Freddie Roach with a handoff going off left guard. Just tough running. We'll get the ball up to the 50-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 6.
Yeah, he just dragged Wilson defenders with him then for 6 yards. I think John McDaniel finally tackled him, but not until after he gained about 7 or 8 yards.
Actually about 7. Let's give him 2nd down and 8. The ball, the nose of the football is on the 50-yard line. Witten comes wide to the near side. Again, Will Roach in motion. Zach Woodford with a fake into Freddie Roach. He is drilled.
There's John McDaniel.
John McDaniel with a good hit on 17, Zach Woodford. Woodford, to his credit, bounces right back up, looking to the sideline to pick up the play. It'll be a loss of about a little over a yard. 3rd down, 9.
Well, that's why McDaniel's one of the leading tacklers in the area. He put a big hit then on Zach Woodford and sent him in the other direction. They lost a yard or two then.
Peck wide left, Witten wide right. Double wing formation. Will Roach and Tyler Harrison. Again, that crossing action in the backfield. Harrison with a handoff going off left tackle and then turning it back upfield. Flag down. Late hit back, I think, will go against Brooks on an attempted block from one of the wideouts.
Again, number 55, John McDaniel, is in on the stop for the Wilson Warriors. McDaniel, 6'2", 200 pounds, plays linebacker for these. Good headhunter for Wilson, has played hard all year long. You know, we talked about that year in and year out. We don't care game in and game out what the score is with Wilson. If they're down 30 points or they're up 30 points, they're going to play just as hard as they on the last plays they did the first play.
Absolutely.
That's something that Coach Winburn just instills in all of his players, and they'll be fighting in this ball game to the very end, no matter what the score is.
Penalty is stepped off against Brooks. That'll move the ball back to the 39-yard line on the Brooks side of the field. Remains third down. Woodford under center. Quick pass out to Will Roach. That was a lateral. Roach real smart to get on top of the football. One official on this side of the field has signaled that that was a lateral, and it, from our vantage point, it did look like a backward pass.
I agree, Phil. That definitely looked like it was a lateral, and Will Roach was playing real heads up. Even only being a sophomore, he covered the ball up. He knew that it was, but they had brought it back to the original line of scrimmage.
So that will bring up fourth down. Zach Woodford into punting formation. Under pressure, gets off a nice kick. Ball hits inside the 40, bounces back to the Wilson 40-yard line where it will be killed at that point. First down for the Warriors, 3:42. Still in the third quarter.
Well, I see Barry Kelly over here. They had his shoulder pads off, and they put him back on him, and was wondering if he's going to make it back in the ball game, but I'd be willing to bet you that he's back in there from here pretty quick.
This Brooks team has been steadily progressing to this point. This is head coach Bob Gottze's third season. Of course, last year the Lions went 6-4. The year before 0-10, so they have learned how to win. On the fly, intercepted. Will Roach intercepts the ball. Nobody will touch him. He'll go down the right sidelines into the end zone. Touchdown, Brooks.
That was a great play then by number 2, Will Roach. Just stuck up his big paw, pulled the ball down. There was nothing but, I would say, green grass, but it's brown now since the frost has come. But outstanding play by a young sophomore. It's just hard to believe how mature he plays on the field, that he's only a 10th grader. And I know a lot of college coaches out there right now wish that he was a senior this year instead of just a sophomore.
And he and his brother they come from good stock. I have the pleasure of being a very good friend of their uncle, Robert Roach, who is a resident of Florence. The point after is good. Brooks 42, Wilson 7. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Hi.
Accepts the kickoff, will advance the ball over the 20, be knocked out of bounds. The ball will be placed down at the 21. As I was beginning to say before we took that commercial break, I have the pleasure of being a friend to and a high school friend of, since high school, of Freddie and Will Roach's uncle, Robert Roach, who attended school at Rogers High School the same time I did, and played baseball with us, and just a real outstanding man, and doing a great job with his family as they live out in the North Florence area.
Phil, on that play then, they only picked up about a half a yard, but number 53, Stephen Shanafelt, made a great block on number 67, Daniel Louie. That time, Daniel Louie has played real well all night long, but it looked like that Shanafelt got the best of him on that particular play. I know he'll be right back, but great block then by number 53, Stephen Shanafelt, 6'1", 190 senior.
Wing right, split in to the left side. Tyler Armstrong going around right in. Not much there. Pursuit gets out as Armstrong will only pick up a couple of yards maybe.
Well, I've got to mention another name now. It looks like he's got into the game. Number 70, Trey Lane, was in on that stop. 5'10", 207, ninth grader for the Brooks team. Also in my Sunday school class. So I've got several players out there playing tonight on both sides of the football, and have to kind of give them a little bit of a little press here, Phil.
Adam Burchell twisting and turning, just cannot get away from the pursuit as he will be dropped right along the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 4th down for the Warriors. 1:50 still remaining in this third quarter.
It's always great to see these young men and young women out here that you get a chance to deal with on that level and see how they act on the field, and it's just a tremendous honor to be associated with these people. And I had an opportunity with players on both sides, Wilson and Brooks here tonight, that mean a whole lot to me in my life, and they're just great young men and young women.
Shanafelt with a nice punt. Harrison attempted an over-the-shoulder catch of the punt, but could not bring it in clean, so he did a smart thing, just fell on it. First down for the Brooks Lions at the 34-yard line. Of course, you have mentioned this almost every stadium we go to, and that is such a great thing to get those athletes involved in that aspect of their life also. But the lessons that can be learned on the football field, and as we've said before, all the coaches in our area that we deal with are just all such class gentlemen, and the lessons that are learned there, it's important to learn the basics of education and to get at least the high school and any kind of education that you want, that you can achieve these lessons.
Well, we talked about that last week with all the adversities that we did the Bradshaw Muscle Shoals game, and with the two young ladies that were tragically killed in the house fire, and one from Coffee and one from Bradshaw, and all week long the coaches were talking about the fact that football was the last thing on their players' minds, and that they had to do a lot of counseling that week. And that's just, you can't say enough about the coaches we have here.
Breaking loose for Brooks into the lineup, number 18, Brian Robertson. Robertson moving into the fullback position. Will Roach moved into the quarterback slot. Just the straight handoff dive play, and Robertson breaks it down to the Wilson 40-yard line.
Well, you might be getting a little preview of the tandem for next year. Of course, with Woodford graduating and Freddie Roach graduating, you might be seeing next year's quarterback and next year's fullback playing now for the Brooks Lions.
Also in the lineup, 32, Aaron Hanna, a junior, 5'8", 143. He's in motion toward us. Inside fake by Will Roach, trying to go right. Shakes one tackler. Will get down and stays inbounds. Keeps the clock running down to the 31-yard line. That'll do it for the third quarter. Brooks 42, Wilson 7. We'll be back for fourth quarter action right after this. 42, Wilson 7. Starting to see a lot of clean jerseys, and we'll try to get in this Brooks lineup, and we'll try to get those guys called out as best we can. Wide to our near side, Blair Johnston, number 3. Inside handoff to number 20, Michael Rickard, and little problem with the exchange there, but nonetheless, will advance the ball forward.
You're right there, Coach Godsey, shuffling in a lot of young players now. JT Alexander, number 24, saw him come into the game.
It's close enough to measure. While the officials are doing their work out there, take this opportunity to again congratulate the Comcast sports crew. Such an outstanding job always turned in by Eddie Forsyth, our producer, Michael Hollander, cameraman and director, and of course Gil Newton, our big guy in the truck, and our big guy is just melting away. He's losing so much weight. He is. We're going to have to come up with a new moniker for him. The Quick Gil Newton.
Again, a lot of new players coming in for Brooks, number 70 for Brooks. Trey Lane again, young ninth graders coming in at center, taking the place of Cody Finn. A lot of young players in there now for Brooks Lions.
Split wide left, 24, J.J. Alexander, inside handoff. Fumble.
Looks like Wilson might have got on top of that one.
Did get that one.
Like number 25, Josh Ward, came up with a football.
It is a turnover. Wilson's football. First down for the Warriors at their own 33-yard line.
Well, you know, we talked about Barry Kelly and see him on the sideline with his shoulder wrapped up. It does look like he is going to be finished for the night. Hope he's going to be okay and ready for next week's game.
Inside handoff, Tyler Armstrong breaks the tackle, trying to get out to the left side, cannot get all the way to the sidelines. Good pursuit from Brooks, but nonetheless, Tyler Armstrong will pick up first down yardage out to the 47-yard line. Be a pickup of about 13, 14 yards.
Number 72 is now in at defense, Jacob Castillo, for Brooks. A lot, again, shuffling in a lot of players.
Wing left. Mitch Hill turns, hands the ball off to, we'll see who is filled in. That is number, can't quite see his number. I believe it's number 33 for Wilson, Dustin Milam.
He's coming out of the game, and Alex Armstrong's coming back in. Number 18 then, Brian Robertson was in on the stop. Another player just coming into the game for Brooks was in on that last tackle.
Wing right, handoff to number 21, Kyle Story. Story breaks down inside the 30. Cannot be tackled until he gets to the Brooks 28-yard line.
Number 32, Aaron Hanna, came in and made the stop, but not after a great big gain by number 21 then for Wilson.
Kyle Story is a senior, 6'2", 166-pound running back. Wing right, number 7, Burchell is the wing man. Inside handoff, Tyler Armstrong trying to go off right guard. Will be knocked down right at the line of scrimmage.
Tell you, I've been real impressed tonight with the linebacker, number 50, Tyler Zahn. He has done a great job, made several key stops tonight for Brooks. He was in on that stop then for no gain, along with several of the defensive front, but he's made some real hard licks tonight for the Brooks defense.
Only a sophomore. And already up to about 215 pounds.
Heath Rickard is also in the game, number 51.
Story trying to go to the left side, cut down by number 70, Trey Lane. Lane got into the backfield. That'll be a loss of a couple of yards.
Yeah, Trey's dad came up here earlier in the press box and said hello. Trey's a fine young man, going to be a great athlete for these Brooks Lions in the future.
Freshman, 5'10", 207 pounds. Still got some growing to do.
He likes to eat also. He can put away the groceries. I've seen them, and most of them have been mine.
Wing right. Mitch Hill fires down the middle of the field. Adam Burchell behind the defense. Burchell with a touchdown pass. Touchdown, Wilson.
I tell you, Adam Burchell, I said it many times, pound for pound might be the toughest player playing football. He is just a great player, 5'7", 150-pound senior. All night long tonight, early in the game on the kickoff returns, getting Wilson in great field position, doing a great job also on the defensive side of the ball, and a big touchdown for Wilson then.
Jeremy Woody on for the point after. Good snap, good placement. The kick is up. It is good. 8:46. Brooks 42, Wilson 14. We'll be right back after this short break. 14, Wilson having already tried one onside kick. One would be inclined to look for that call again from head coach David Winburn. Jeremy Woody approaches the ball, kicks it this time deep. Touched by Brooks' line and picked up by Witten at his 20. Will advance the ball out to the 27-yard line or so. Matt Witten, a senior, 6 foot, 187-pounder in particular, number 11 for the Brooks Lions.
Well, Phil, you know, before the game started, we had an opportunity to meet a young man that wondered if the game was going to be on TV. Number 20, there's number 20. I wonder if we can get a shot of him, Michael, down there on the track. Number 20, Bubba Johnson, plays for the Wilson Midget football team, plays defensive tackle, and we had a lot of fun with him before the game started, and we'll hope we get a chance to get a shot of him and talk a little bit about him. He's a big Wilson fan, and I think they play a big homecoming game tomorrow for the Wilson Midget League, but Bubba Johnson, number 20, in your program, number 1 in your heart.
Inside handoff to number 18, Brian Robertson. Robertson will pick up about 8, second down and 2.
And Bubba, I didn't mention your girlfriend's name, so you could be okay there.
Didn't mention either one, either the former or the current.
You're going to get him in trouble now.
2nd and 2. Handoff again, this time to number 27, Dustin Holden. Holden coming from the left wing position as Brooks runs that little crossing action, getting the wing man going from one side back to the other. Will get enough yards for the first down. The ball is marked just short of the Brooks 40. The clock is running. We're inside 7 minutes and 40 seconds now.
You know, Brooks has had an opportunity this year. It kind of reminds you a little bit of the Deschler team over the last 2 or 3 years. Coming into the 3rd and 4th quarters, they've had an opportunity to play a lot of young players and get a lot of great experience for them coming on into the next season. We talked about it many times how Deschler, over the past 4 or 5 years, with all of the playoff games they were in and winning back-to-back state championships, that they actually played an extra season and giving a lot of those young players a lot of valuable experience that they couldn't get otherwise, and making them much more mature players than they actually would have been if they had not had that game experience.
And practice time.
And that's right now is happening to this Brooks team this year. They've had an opportunity to play a lot of players and get them some valuable experience.
And there goes again Brian Robertson, the junior, 5'8", 162-pounder. Nice move up the middle to break one tackle. Falls forward down to the Wilson 46-yard line. First down yardage.
Right behind the center, number 70, Trey Lane. You know, we talked about it, how Brooks, how they've improved so much from 3 years ago. And a lot of these players that are out there now just got completely beat up the last couple of years ago and took their licks, and now they're having a chance to return the favor a little bit and are passing out the licks of their own.
Through the end of last season, over the last 5 years, the Brooks program had gone 21-31. Over the last 10 years, 52-53. So this is a big step forward for this Brooks Lions program.
I tell you, the statistics just really pan out the exact score of the game being 42-14. Brooks just took complete charge in the third quarter. They had 353 total yards of offense, 231 rushing, 122 yards passing. And it's just they just really did well in the third quarter. They've had 6 penalties for a total of 49 yards. In the third quarter, they had 2 for 20 yards. They've had 11 first downs, 4 in the first period, 2 in the second, and 3 in the third quarter. Their offense is just done tremendous so far, rushing the ball. On the other side of the ball, defensively, they've held Wilson to only 71 total yards offense, 70 yards rushing and only 1 yard passing. They've had 1 penalty for 15 yards, and they've had no penalties. Wilson's had no penalties since the first quarter, but turnovers have really hurt them. Either fumbling the ball or interceptions have cost probably about 28 of the 42 points have been probably off of Wilson turnovers, and they could just not do that and stay in the game against this fine, outstanding Brooks football team.
Blair Johnston goes wide left, reverse handoff to number 21, I believe, yes, number 21, Barron Hamilton, a junior, 5'6", 143-pounder, coming from the right wing position.
Now, I know it's always tough to lose a football game, but these Wilson seniors, I know this is their homecoming. They have had some outstanding years. They have got a great football team, great coached football team, and these young men have learned a lot more than football their 4 years here at Wilson.
Over the last 5 years, this Wilson program has recorded 34 wins against 20 losses. That's pretty good in anybody's league, not to mention this tough Region 8 in 4A.
Well, it has been. You know, it's been Deschler's. They've owned it the last 4 or 5 years, and
well, really, they've owned it since the end of the '80s or so.
Well, you're right. In fact, was it this year that we talked about they lost their first regular season game in the region since the 1980s this season, and they have definitely owned the region for the past decade, and we might be seeing the makings of another team because they've got a lot of young players. They got some freshmen and sophomores in here playing right now, getting some, as we talked about, some valuable game experience, and they got some real good skill people coming back next year. Of course, I feel like they'll be led by number 2, Will Roach, who looks like he will be probably the starting quarterback next year.
You'll put the ball in your best athlete's hands, and right now that Zach Woodford, as he has been really impressive tonight, and you're right, that would, I'm sure, reasonably sure, be the plan of action for head coach Bob Gotze.
Well, you've got also coming back, you've got number 22, Tyler Harrison. He's 5'11", 175 junior. He has played real well tonight, and you've got number 64, starting tackle, Jason Hewitt. You've got Stephen Louie, who is also a junior. You've got Daniel Louie, who's only a sophomore. And then number 23, Rob Patterson, who's also a junior. So you've got a lot of returning players offensively for Brooks. And again, will probably be led by Will Roach. Looks like he'll be probably your starting quarterback, but they have a lot of other players coming back offensively.
The punt is down inside the 10, will be marked at about the 8-yard line. First down for the Warriors, 3:06 remaining in the football game, 42-14 in favor of the Brooks Lions.
Number 76 is in for Brooks. James Wade, a defensive tackle position. Number 60, Jeremy Jones also is in at one of the defensive positions. He's an 11th grader. Number 51, Heath Rickard, is in at also a defensive lineman position for Brooks. I'm trying to get as many numbers as we can filled.
Number 81, Matt Martin, a senior, 5'10", 168, back in the one cornerback position.
Looks like number 84 is playing one of the defensive end positions, Andy Yerby.
Handoff to Adam Burchell. I'm sorry, that was number 2, Tyler Armstrong. Coming right at you will
like number 63 also, Daniel Curtis, 11th graders in at linebacker position. And number 3, Blair Johnson also in there.
Fumble handoff, trying to get a handoff on that quick move from the wing position right behind the quarterback. Not a clean exchange, but Wilson does get back on the ball, but it is now hugging the goal line back there. And that'll bring up 3rd down from about the 1.
Looks like Wilson also is bringing in a lot of young players. Number 85, Todd Gibbs, another 9th grader, is in.
We're inside 2 minutes left in the football game. Handoff going off tackle, I believe was number 33, Dustin Milam. We'll punch the ball up to about maybe the 4. Very difficult to see the yard lines from where we're sitting here. Again, thanks to the folks here at Wilson. They've been very nice to us.
Yeah, we can't say enough about that, Coach Wimburn, and I think we are scheduled to come back here possibly in a couple of weeks when they play the Bradshaw Bruins.
That'd be week 10. Jeremy Woody in punt formation out of his end zone, kicks the ball out. Ball is trying to be handled by Dustin Holden. Holden could not make a clean catch on it, so he does just fall on it. 1st down for Brooks at the Wilson 35-yard line. The clock has stopped. 1:08 remaining in the football game. Again, also congratulations to Luisa Munoz on her being crowned the 2000 homecoming queen here at Wilson High School.
Phil, there's one other person I failed to mention hello to, and her name is Amy Bobo. She is a student over at Brooks. Celebrated her 18th birthday last week, and next week I think is Brooks homecoming, and she is on the homecoming court for the Brooks Lions, and congratulations to her.
In at quarterback now is number 12, Justin Sutherland, freshman, 5'6", 118-pounder. Hands off to number 20, Michael Rickard, a junior, 5'6", 139-pounder. And that will run the clock on down inside a minute.
Some of the new Wilson players in: number 78, Jason Bradley; number 72, Justin Sweeney; 44's in there, Chris Nix at defensive end; 14 back at a cornerback, it's Max Siemens.
Sutherland takes the snap straight again, handoff right to Rickard, number 20.
Number 1, Nathan Hyde is also in, back at a cornerback position for Wilson.
15 seconds remaining now, and that should just about do it. A big 4A Region 8 game. Brooks remains undefeated now, 7-0 and 5-0 in the region. Wilson falls to 4-3, 2-3 in the region. Your final score: Brooks 42, Wilson 14. We'll be back with a wrap-up right after this message. 14, partner. What do you think we just saw here tonight?
Well, I think we might have seen possibly the state champions. I hate to go ahead and say that, but this could be Brooks' year. They have got a great football team. Skill positions are just tremendous for a school their size to have so many skill positions, and are great players in those positions. I was just can't say enough about the quarterback for Brooks, Zach Woodford. He runs the program, and he's just a tremendous athlete and does a great job leading the Brooks team. The fans for both squads, of course, are second to none to anybody. Brooks right now, of course, they're in the driver's seat in the region. that Brooks Fayette County game is really shaping up to be a great game. I'm not sure when it's going to be played. I know it is at Fayette, though, so it will be a away game for Brooks. But
that will be week 9, actually.
They do have a great team, and you know, anytime Wilson plays, it's always a pleasure to watch them play because of Coach Wimburn and because of what all he teaches these young men, and they'll never stop fighting no matter what it is, and they've had a good season, and he does a great job coaching them along with this entire staff. But you know, with the Roach guys, I mean, I'm sitting there looking right now at Freddie Roach out at midfield talking to a reporter, and again, he just towers above everybody, and just a great athlete. And you'll watch him play on Saturdays next year for somebody in a Division I school. I just hope it's orange and blue. Uh-oh, I shouldn't have said that. But anyway, he's a great player, and this could be Brooks' year. I think that what they've done and getting an opportunity to play a lot of young players in the second half, I think will come a long way when it comes to playoff time.
Well, that'll do it here. It was homecoming at Wilson High School. For the Comcast Sports Crew, Statman Steve Eason, my good partner Steve Pierce, I'm Phil Stevenson. Stay tuned next week for another Comcast High School Game of the Week. Good night, everybody.